Welcome back. We're coming to you from the Infosys headquarters here in Bangalore. You heard Shibulal and Rajiv Bansal, CEO and CFO at the company. The next top management team is with me. BG Srinivas is president. The man they say could be the next CEO at Infosys. BG, thanks very much for coming in. Good morning.
Thank you.
I don't know how you take to that introduction, but I'll get to that in just a bit. Sandeep Dadlani is head retail, CPG and logistics. Sandeep, thanks very much. Good morning. Great to have both of you here. BG, let me just tackle that one head on. First up, right, the people issue with people exiting. Shibu now saying, well, he'd like to step down January or whenever a successor is found, whichever is earlier. What are your thoughts, about the entire people churn which is happening, the changes?
See, Infosys, we have been very transparent in the fact that we have clearly announced the succession planning. The nominations committee has clearly stated the next steps they are going to take. So this is like any transition for any large globally respected corporation. So we are following the process, and I'm sure with the search, both internal and external, we will find a good person who can take such a wonderful corporation forward.
The feedback that I get from, the outside world, and it's not what I'm saying, but what I hear from people who track the industry, who track the company for years is, from internally, Shibu just said, and he was talking about the mid-level management, right? Not the topmost senior management. He was saying, well, the focus now to control attrition, it was in that context. He said the focus is to promote people internally. That's the idea. That can be said about the top job as well. And if that is true, what I hear is, well, you're the man for the job.
See, as Shibu did mention that in terms of the leadership, both depth and breadth, there is a significant number of people within the organization. Again, as a principle, we have always said, in line with our growth and our global ambitions for growth, we will make sure there is enough opportunities for talent within at all levels. At all levels, including leadership levels, that we try and encourage that. It doesn't deter us from looking for external talent wherever we have capability gaps, and that again we look at all levels. So nothing significantly has changed. So we continue on that journey, and yes, we are at the point where in the next 2 to 3 quarters the transition will happen.
But the company remains committed to promoting leaders from within. That's the ethos. That is a safe statement to make.
The company would look for promotions and opportunities for majority of the people as long as they are the right people and they have the right capabilities. So that goes without saying. Okay. But at the same time, like we have done in the past, we continue to look for external talent where we have capability gaps and we bridge.
Mr. Kakal's exit was the 9th senior level exit, right? So how are you dealing with that? What is the impact that you are seeing?
So if you look at our leadership pyramid, we have about 50 to 60 tier 1 leaders in the company. We have close to 150 tier 2 leaders and about 300 plus tier 3 leaders. So like I mentioned, we have quite a good talent at every level. And I'm sure, well, at every level, there are people who have ambitious plans and they have opportunities, and then we wish them well. At the same time, we have ensured that as far as our business is concerned, our focus on growth, on clients, that there is nothing which has impacted that when some of the talent leave. Again, in terms of percentages, these are something which is normal for most corporations. I don't know why, of course, Infosys gets an undue large attention for any kind of exits. But that apart, we have...
But that's because, Infosys has seen the maximum number of exits, right?
I wouldn't try to qualify maximum or minimum, but as far as we are concerned, we are focused on the business, we are focused on our clients, we are focused on our employees, and we do believe that we have the wherewithal and the confidence to take the journey forward. And some individuals who are ambitious and who have other plans, we wish them well.
Yeah. But would you say some of these exits which we have seen are because of the turnaround which is being effected at Infosys over the last year or so, year and a half or so?
See, in the last couple of years, while we have faced some challenges, we are on a transformation journey. The world around us is changing, clients' expectations are changing, and we need to reskill and rebuild the organization, and we are on that journey. As many organizations of such global in nature where we go through transformation, there will always be some who would want to continue and be a part of the transformation, some would want to have other choices. So it's a part of any large corporation going through transformation.
Sandeep, so Shivu was telling me retail has been sort of sluggish in the quarter, right? And it's an important segment as an overall contributor to revenues. Can you just talk about what exactly went wrong and what's the outlook more importantly?
Sure, Prashant. Well, thanks for having me first of all. As we entered this quarter, a number of my clients, retailers in particular, found their EPS is dropping because they had really discounted themselves to get a decent holiday season. After that, there was a bad weather all across the Americas and select parts of the rest of the world as well. So consumers never went out to shop. We also had data breaches, credit card breaches, which really diverted attention of multiple retailers to their own data security issues. All of this resulted in postponements of projects, cancellations of some projects. We had won some projects which never ever ramped up. They were postponed to following quarters. So from my perspective, this is a one-off event. It was a confluence of perfect storm of events that happened this quarter. Just today morning, the Commerce Department has declared record March sales because the sun has come out. Now, if the sun comes out, people will come out to shop. NRF is saying that there will be 9 to 12% increase in online sales, which means our digital transformation initiatives will continue. So I feel that this quarter was a one-off for retail and CPG. And as we move forward, hopefully we will see a confluence of deals happening, decisions happening, some of the projects that were postponed that could come back. So I'm looking forward.
What's the exit rate of growth for the segment this quarter, this year, fiscal 14, and what will fiscal 15 look like broadly? So
fiscal 15, we have given a guidance, and it is representative across verticals very, very accurately. I think we had a good 3 quarters in retail, CPG, and logistics in the financially that's coming off. This quarter, we've had negative growth, as you know. But I think what's important to look at is, was this a one-off or is this?
You're saying it's a one-off?
I personally believe it's absolutely a one-off. We are seeing a decent deal pipeline. And I'm looking forward with a lot more optimism.
We got through a lot of the financial numbers with Rajiv and Shibu earlier, but a few things I would like to touch base upon. Pricing is down about 1% on a blended basis, right? Can you just talk about that? That's a negative. I mean, fiscal 15, what is it looking like?
See, by and large, if you look at across sectors, overall, our clients are going through challenging times and their margins are under pressure. So there will continue to be cost pressure, but we are seeing pricing being relatively stable. Quarter on quarter, there could be marginal movements, but by and large, it's relatively stable. Yes, there are some specific cases where clients have looked at, as a part of their cost optimization, looked at how they can take cost out, and in that context, we have been in discussions with them. It's something which we will see even as we go forward.
So there is downward pressure on pricing going into fiscal 15 as well, right?
I would say it is going to be stable with a little bit bias towards
the downside.
Cost. Yeah.
The downside.
It's going to be stable by and large, but yes, there is going to be a pressure, yes.
Discretionary segments, consulting, products, I mean, they're all down quarter on quarter this quarter, right? The cost segments, testing, etc. has done the job for you. Just comment on discretionary spending, especially Q1, the first half basically.
Right. See, again, I wouldn't read too much into the quarterly phenomena. If you look at the full year, consulting has grown 18%. So it's done well overall for the full fiscal year of 14.
Yeah.
Quarterly, again, this can vary up and down, but by and large, today's context, the discretionary spend is coming out of cost savings from the regular business of run the bank or run the shop kind of operations, because there is an overall budgetary pressure on IT. So what our clients are looking at is take cost out from the regular business and make provisions for discretionary spend. And in discretionary spend, again, there are 2 distinct areas where there is focus. One is digital transformation, analytics, cloud, mobility, all those new areas. The second element is all of them are under regulatory pressure. So there is so much focus on, for example, in banks, regulatory reporting, anti-fraud, particularly money laundering. These are areas where they are focusing attention on putting in new control systems and trying to manage that. So we will continue to see discretionary spend, which will be selective, but the budgets will come out of cost savings from the regular business.
Okay, I was referring more to pure, fresh discretionary spends. I mean, that remains under pressure.
That remains under pressure, but again, it varies by sector. Okay. For example, in automotive, we have seen a resurgence of some of the discretionary spend. Okay. In industrial manufacturing goods, again, there is discretionary spend. In insurance sector, again, because they're looking at newer players who are coming into the market for launching their new products and services, they have set aside money. So it varies by sector. So there is still element of discretionary spend, and we are continuing to leverage our consulting-led capabilities in that direction to make sure that we capture that part of the business. platforms is something which we are seeing increasing interest from our clients.
Okay.
And that's an area which we believe we have strengths. We have 7 platforms already in the market.
Sure.
And that again will be more focused on transitioning from traditional operating model to new operating models.
Fair enough. Good luck, gentlemen. BG, thanks very much. Sandeep, appreciate you dropping by. Great
Thank
to
you.
have
Thanks, Prashant.
Good luck.
Good luck.